Alright, welcome to Cooking from the Cave. I'm Chef Pete Trusiak. Today we are going to make a coconut curry chicken soup, a little variation from the standard chicken and noodles. This will soon become a favorite in your household. We're going to start off with some diced up chicken. I got a nice big stock pot going over here. We'll let it heat up. The first thing I want you to add is 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. If you don't have sesame oil, you can use regular canola oil. You could even use extra virgin olive oil for this. Once that oil heats up in the pan, we're going to add our chicken, and this is diced up, skinless chicken thighs. And whenever you're adding anything to a pot, the first thing you want to do is, one, make sure that you hear that sizzle in there. If you don't hear it immediately, turn it up a little bit and wait before you add anything else. Now we have a good sound going on in there, but we don't want to really disrupt this, so we're going to let this sit for about 30 seconds, stir it around, and then we'll start adding more of our vegetables to this. After about 30 seconds, chicken's been cooking, we're going to stir it around. It changes color for you, so it's going to go from that light red to a white color from it being cooked. Just want to make sure it browns up on all the sides, so you might get some color and it's not that bad. Don't worry about it, that's good. And now we can start to add some of our vegetables. The vegetables I like to use for this soup is I'll use some leeks, and I'll use the yellow and white parts of the leeks only, not the green parts. Carrots, I'm going to add 1 whole carrot, as large of a carrot as you can find. And those I've julienned up. I have red and green peppers that I've diced up. You can use poblano peppers if you like. You can use just regular green bell peppers. And lastly, I use a 1/4 pound of diced up shiitake mushrooms. Now we're just going to stir all this together. When you're making a sauce or a soup, you need to add some type of acid. Well, because this is a coconut curry soup, staying with that Thai theme, I am going to add, for my acid, I'm going to use 1 ounce of soy sauce. And I will follow that up with stirring that in, almost like it's going to deglaze the bottom of the pan, so it's going to scrape everything off of the bottom. It's going to make it very loose. Then we can add our chicken stock. And that's 2 ounces of chicken stock. At this point I can start to add my flavoring. It's going to be garlic and my spices. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 cloves of crushed garlic, 1 tablespoon of curry, as well as 1 teaspoon of garam masala. All this is going to get stirred together. It's a very simple recipe. We're going to add our 1 can of coconut milk. We can dump it all in there all at once. And we're going to let this cook covered for about 30 minutes. Once you put the cover on, go ahead and turn that heat down to low heat. It's going to stew everything together, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this soup up. After 30 minutes of cooking, we're going to check in on our soup. And the next thing is to decide, do I need to add more liquid or not? And your chicken is going to release some liquid into your water, so I don't add all my stock at the beginning. So after it cooks for about 30 minutes, you're going to make that judgment call. I'm going to say I'm going to add about 3 to 4 cups of liquid at this time. And this is just straight chicken stock. We're going to go ahead and put the lid back on, bring it up to a boil. It's going to take a few minutes, and then once everything heats up thoroughly, we can go ahead and taste it, and then it's ready to serve. Alright, so after 2 minutes, we're going to go ahead and start to plate this up. Remember, just taste it, make sure the seasoning levels are all appropriate and everything. You already have a lot of flavor in there with the curry and the garlic and the garam masala. The sesame oil is going to come through a lot. You don't need to add a lot of salt because that soy sauce is already in there, so just taste before you serve it. It's actually really, really good. At this point, we'll plate it up. And you can serve this with noodles, you can serve it with rice. And this coconut curry chicken soup, garnish it with some cilantro, some green onions. A little bit different flair than your normal chicken soup, but something that your family will definitely learn to love. Thanks for joining us from Cooking from the Cave. I'm Chef Pete Truziak, and we will see you very soon.